Sure, I would do honestly.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Very quick, baie vinnig, baie vinnig. Very quickly. I'm not going to be long because I don't know if press is going to be live later today or whether press is going to be live Tuesday or something, or Thursday. I'm just not too sure. But I got a very important message that I want to share. Ja, sla my deep binne hoor. Deep binne. I just want to touch on two things. Just give it one more minute. Just one more minute. Excuse the noise there at the back. It's a pump there at the back for the pool. If you can't pick it up on the sound, my apologies. I've tried to move around to find the most suitable place, but this is probably the better place for me where I'm at. Good afternoon to everybody. Let's give it to half a minute. And then there's two things I'm going to touch on. Alright guys, goedemiddag, good afternoon. I must have a lamp because I'm not keeping this thing on a, yeah. I trust that I'm audible enough. Two things I'm going to touch on, just two things, very quickly. Alright guys, I read earlier on Facebook a message sent by our President, Honorable Gaten McKenzie. Something that he said he's going to touch on again, and it related to infighting and people not understanding the line of march, people not understanding what executive decisions mean. Now, I just want to touch on that, because I thought it important for me to say something on it, but I'll get into it now. Why I thought it important to say something on it. I've been quiet not because I didn't want to say anything, but it's important for me now to share something with you patriots. Ons is party van waarheid, man. Now before I do that, if you go onto this group here, this page, you will see that Press did a couple of hours back post something. But what I don't understand is why did Press, I'm not happy about it. Why did Press choose to talk about United? And then he said in brackets, I'm not talking about Man United. No, ek like die sulke dinge nie. You see, Press want to talk about we must be united and not divided. Maar nou, hoe moet ons nou unite? If Press is using United as an example. And he explicitly said, I'm not talking about Manchester United. Ek like it goed in die Press. Asseblief, try vir ophou. You could have used so many other examples. You know, Man United, this party, yes. We've got the alphabet gang. LGBTQ plus what. We've got them. Now, how can, you see, Press must also understand what he wants. Now, ek sê, you know, to kies omdraai nie, en ek sê ding soos hy is. Press must also decide what he wants. Press is in favor of the LGBTQ gang, the alphabet gang, but he's got an issue with Man United. Vra vir Chaz, waar is goed hulle? Helfte van die LGBTQ is Man United. So Press moet ook baie sensitive wees when he make examples of United and division and stuff. Want that post of Press all earlier today, I took strong exception when Press had an issue with Man United. So export maar nou wat export. Klik lekker in 'n naten. In 'n nat? Ja, lekker. In 'n nat. So I just thought I wanted to start with that and get that out of the way. Now that it's out of the way, I'm going to go to the real crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is many patriots, not most, many. Let me let me repeat. Not most patriots, many patriots, they don't understand what it is when an executive decision is taken. They defy the decision taken by the National Executive Committee. They fight amongst each other because decisions taken is not in their favor, it's not what they wanted. And they're not doing justice to the cause of this party. They don't do justice to the cornerstones of this party, which is loyalty and trust. You must be loyal to the party. And you must trust the processes. Trust the decisions taken by the executive. And when our party president makes an announcement, and if it's not meeting your favor, be disciplined enough to trust the process and accept the executive decision and announcement that's been made. That's discipline in a party. This is the ANC nie. This is not the DA. This is not EFF. You know what? I was called to a region because people were fighting there with each other. I went there, I had a meeting with them till late the Friday night. Not so long ago. That's not more than a month ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago. And it was in George. And the way they fight each other there, it's really sad to see what they are doing. And in Nelson Mandela Bay, it's Sunday today, in Nelson Mandela Bay on Wednesday, I was at the by-election with many other patriots. Two things stood out for me. And I'm not going to talk about the patriots of Nelson Mandela Bay. I'm going to talk about other patriots. Patriots came from far and wide to assist in Nelson Mandela Bay with the by-election. Far and wide. 11 hours, 12 hours drive to get there to assist. Now, when people come from so far to Nelson Mandela Bay to assist with the by-election, what does it tell you about the heart of those people? I see there's Graham Gelderbloem also watching. Welcome, Graham, DA councillor in Ward, what's it? What's that ward there? Ward 11, Shoreville in Port Elizabeth. Thank you for watching. Graham was also a Patriotic Alliance member. He's a pensioner, he's a business guy. And he was adamant that he wanted to be a councillor for the Patriotic Alliance. So we said, no, we can't be a councillor, Graham. You're a good guy, you're a good man, and he is a good guy. But let's bring other people in, man, to loop to gaan idee toe. So I'm sorry to say they burnt tires there in front of your office. I was in Nelson Mandela Bay, I saw the tires laying there burnt and marks in the road and stuff. When people burn tires, do the right thing and call the police. You cannot damage the infrastructure. That's not the PA way. We don't burn tires because we will deal with you if you burn tires. It's not the PA way. We are not going to damage the infrastructure at the local municipalities by burning tires. There's other ways to show forms of protest. So I hope you call the police, Graham, that you took footage and that you did. Those people can be arrested. We don't burn tires. Now, I was in George and I had meetings. And I said to them, the NEC is going to come back with an answer. I didn't take no decision there. I didn't give them any answers. I just went to go and do fact-finding so that I can do a thorough report to the NEC. And because the NEC is busy, people are now throwing the toys out of the cot. They continue fighting. So I'm asking myself, what was the need to go and have that meeting with them to try and find peace amongst themselves? And in the main, let them be disciplined and understand the line of march. So it is really sad to see that they're still fighting. Then I see posts, people saying, "Ek gaan maar loop because as diene hier is, dan gaan ek loop, en as diene nie hier is, dan gaan ek loop. Loop asseblief. Please go. Please go. George is not South Africa. We need to make sure that we win this country. George is not South Africa, but it contributes to the whole plan of winning South Africa. And if George must now be excluded because of you want to leave because you're not happy, as soon as you leave, don't worry. 4, 5, 6 people will replace you. So gaan asseblief. En if you're a member of a member, gaan saam die enetjie wat wil loop. Of saam die 2 of 3 wat wil loop. Gaan sommer saam hulle. Then it shows you that your heart has never been here for the right reasons. Now I want to tell you, I want to conclude. It's not going to be a long life. I'm speaking to all of you fighting now, not just in George, across the country, wherever there may be fights, or fights about to start, or ill discipline for not wanting to understand that if decisions are made and pronounced by our president or any NEC member, that you'll have to accept it. It's executive decisions. Otherwise, gaan bou vir yourself a party and campaign for your eie party, then you go with your rules. I want to tell you something. You know, on Wednesday, I went to a family in Nelson Mandela Bay in Bloemendal. Lady Tiffany called me to go there. There were many other leaders there of the PA. I want to tell you, while you are fighting, I want to tell you this. And this is the only thing I'm going to mention. I'm going to say goodbye to you. On Wednesday, now Wednesday passed, the 16th of July, I went to this family home in Bloemendal. Can't remember the name of the street. When I got there, everybody had PA t-shirts on. They were working the ground because of the elections on Wednesday in Ward 34. And you know what? I got introduced to people there. And I looked at these people. And these people were doing door to door. Hulle was grond toe. They were doing door to door. When these people sat down, then I realized, mense, you still have time to fight. There's people who fight for change. There's people who fight for change while you're fighting people. You know, in that house in Bloemendal, in Ward 34 in Nelson Mandela Bay, on Wednesday, these people came from the street, having done door to door, having campaigning, encouraging people, persuading people to go and vote for the PA. You know who these people are? Do you know who these people are? This is Wednesday. It's Sunday today. You know who these people are? It's the very same people who's about to bury their daughter who passed on. And she got buried yesterday or Saturday. She got buried yesterday. On Wednesday, that people said, the first party Shamondre voted for in her life was the PA, and she was so excited. They showed me photos and stuff. Shamondre voted for the PA for the first time in her life. She sadly passed on. She was buried yesterday. But Wednesday, before yesterday, before the funeral, her mother, the father, the grandmother, the grandfather, the family was in the street doing door to door, stopping people, telling them to go and vote for the PA on Wednesday, while the body is laying at the undertaker's of their daughter. They could find it in their heart to go and fight for change, fight for the future of children known and unknown to them, fighting for the cause of the Patriotic Alliance. Let me repeat that, people. But let me add the other part to it. Shamondre Magia graduated at Nelson Mandela University on the 17th of April this year. On the 18th of April, and I'm sure the family won't mind me talking about her because the message is about her and what she's done and about her family sacrifices in the darkest hour of their lives. You and I need to rethink when we decide to plan to fight with anybody. Think of Shamondre Magia and her family. She graduated on the 17th of April this year, BCom, at Nelson Mandela University. The very next day, the 18th of April this year, she didn't feel too well. And she couldn't walk thereafter. They sent her to hospital. The day after she graduated, she had problems in walking. There was some clinical diagnosis for it. And she sadly passed on at a young, tender age with a whole life ahead of her. And the first party she voted for was a PA. I've seen the photos with her in a t-shirt. I've seen the photos of Shamondre Magia. I sat with the family now Wednesday, Nelson Mandela Bay, the day of elections. So I'm asking you that's going out fighting and fighting because you do not respect executive decisions, and worst even, conveyed by the president of this party, by Jellivel Bakley, because you like it, die decision and that decision. Loop man, gaan aan. This family, with the daughter's body at the mortuary, at the undertakers, in green PA t-shirts, knocking door to door. I asked them, where do you come from? No. Shamondre would have been walking these streets, campaigning for the PA. And we're doing what she expects of us to do. And her whole family was out in the street on Wednesday, whilst the funeral was yesterday, Saturday. Moet jy nie skaam voel nie. If you see how people in the darkest hour of their lives go out with the body of a loved one still at the mortuary, at the undertaker, going out and campaigning with that grief, with that pain, with that heart sore, and campaigning, telling people, please vote for the PA. And here you and I come, and we thrive on fighting one another. We thrive on not respecting party line. We thrive on not appreciating or respecting executive decisions taken. Then this party is not for you. Don't you see the growth of this party? So if you're not happy with things, loop man, that's alright. Maar loop mooi. You don't have to argue, fuss and fight. Loop mooi, loop saggies. You must be ashamed of yourself for picking fights. When people have got all the reason to say we're not gonna because our daughter must be buried in 2-3 days time. Put the green shirt on and goes door to door. While you are fighting, people whose heartbroken, whose daughter died of natural causes, goes out and build the party. They go out and they build the party, while you are breaking down the party. You must do some deep introspection. Deep introspection. Shame on you. Shame on you. It's not too late to change for the better. Do introspection. And don't ask somebody else's opinion when you feel that you need to deal with what's happening in your heart, in your spirit, and your soul. You don't need the endorsement of somebody else next to you because you cannot be a member of a member. Ask yourself that. That's all I wanted to say to you. I wanted to speak to you about Shamondre Magia, who sadly passed on, whose funeral was yesterday in Nelson Mandela Bay. I couldn't make it for the funeral because I had to go and attend to a medical condition myself. I couldn't make it to the funeral. So people, do what's right. Change or chase. Do what's right. Change or chase. And let it be a personal decision, not encouraged by anybody else around you. We only have us. We only have us. So thank you for listening to me. A lot of people needed to hear this. It's not just George. It's not just George. It's all over. A lot of people needed to hear this. Shemondre Magir's family preparing to bury the child in 3 days' time, but walking the soil of the earth to build the party and campaigning for the party. You must be, I don't know. There must be some kind of different spirit in you that is just not PA-like. And if it's you, change or chase, loop saggies. We've got work to do. Drakenstein, I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be in the ground tomorrow in Drakenstein, by-election coming up. All the best to all the other patriots. Get yourself to the other municipalities where by-elections are taking place this coming Wednesday. Special votes on Tuesday. Make sure you guys go. Kimberley and so forth, Ward 1. Drakenstein. Ek is môre daar by julle. Steek vroeg uit daar môre. Ek is heel dag daar môre. And then the rest of the week, mostly on Tuesday, I need to go to the National Assembly. And on Wednesday, there's a 3-whip party in the National Assembly from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 p.m. So unfortunately, no parliamentarian will be available to join in on Wednesday because of the 3-whip party starting 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. But we will surely be there after the 6 o'clock meeting, make our way to the closest by-election, which is in Veldrift, there's one also, and in Thingy, in Drakenstein, Paul area, there's also one. So we will see you guys there. Excuse us for Wednesday. Tuesday there's meetings, but definitely tomorrow there's no excuse not to be there. All parliamentarians, please make your way to the by-elections. And support staff, you know what to do. Our support staff is very good. They prepare our stuff. They're also on the ground. The parliamentary support staff, they're also on the ground. They just prepare certain things for us and then they hit the ground, joining all the forces on the ground. So thank you very much, everybody. I needed to talk to you about your infighting. Laat het nou stop asseblief. Laat het stop. Laat het stop. En van julle wil mos nie worry. En julle wat jy wil worry, loop asseblief, maar ek vra vir die Here, vir God en vir Jacob, loop. We can do without you, because that's not the type of spirit that we need here in the PA. Gaan maar aan asseblief toe. Asseblief. Thank you guys. Shemondre Magir, I respect your family. I want to wish you all the best to the family of Shemondre Magir, all the strength, and if you feel down, it's normal. To bury a child is not easy. The most highest place is down on your knees, and that's where the strength is going to come from no man, but from being down on your knees and reaching out to him. So our thoughts are with you as a Patriotic Alliance. Our prayers are with you as a Patriotic Alliance. All the best. Thank you, people. Salute, Patriots. Shap, shap. Bye.
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.